This is the Volkswagen Passat, the German brand's flagship sedan that for years has been offering shoppers access to a German luxury sedan experience without the German luxury sedan price tag. It's a premium sort of ride that doesn't beg for attention, look glitzy and glamorous, or compact with excessive chrome, and it flies under the radar visually anyways. I got out of this thing at the mall the other day, and I bet nobody expected me to be wearing gold chains and spray tan and a designer man scarf. It's a jeans and t-shirt sort of luxury sedan. And though the tester didn't look like too much of a party animal all done up in beige, it was fitted with plenty of the good stuff. In this top dog Highline trim, you get heated and power adjustable seating, auto climate control, a driver computer, a navigation interface with Bluetooth multimedia connectivity, and more. And there's also a sunroof and automatic lights and a punchy audio system from the people who make guitars and amps for rock concerts. The tester also got the sport package for these athletic-looking wheels, these slick door sills, this carbon-looking interior trim in place of the boring old wood grain like in your grandmother's LeSabre, and these paddle shifters on the steering wheel for if you're feeling like clicking off some gear changes. Configured thusly, the tester came in around 36 grand, though you can save about $1,500 if you shift your own gears because you can actually get a manual transmission even on this loaded-up trim grade. Sign me the heck up. Best of all, Passat turns in a very authentic luxury sedan experience that hits a little above its price point in several key areas. First, the ride. It's creamy and smooth and laid back with a touch of sporty tautness dialed in for good measure. It's responsive enough in the handling department, but comfort first, and all without riding like a great big glob of mayonnaise. It makes the Passat a totally relaxing place to be. Second, the cabin. It's so German, tidy, neat, meticulous, logical, nicely built and trimmed, but my favorite thing is just how simple and elegant it is. There aren't 100 display screens and consoles and command dials all over, just logical control placement, colors, and materials nicely sorted out against one another, and a beautifully simple look that probably helps make the cabin feel and look even bigger than it is, which is pretty big. Third, and this is weird, the engine. Weird because it's a diesel and most people still think diesel engines are wheezy, clattery, smoky things that puke out soot and sound like a blender full of loose change. Like most diesel engines these days, this one's remarkable. It's a 4-cylinder turbo diesel and it makes 140 horsepower and, more importantly, 237 pounds of torque. That's adequately powerful, excellent on fuel, and very quiet too, not to mention nearly effortless thanks to all that low-end power and the lack of much noise. I know a few gas engines that can learn a thing or two about refinement from this TDI. So a great foundation to the luxury car experience so far. There's also the dense, solid firmness to the Passat in many key areas that helps convey a sense of quality and durability. The doors closing, the switches, the knobs, almost everything on board feels substantial and heavy duty. Automakers know shoppers love that sort of thing and target it nowadays, but it's a nice touch nonetheless. There's also the space. This is a big car, and the thing about big cars is that they're big. Even if you're north of 300 pounds and typically avoid salads, you'll probably find the Passat plenty spacious. So there's room enough for 4 adults to stretch out a giant carpeted cavern for a trunk, easy entry and exit thanks to those big door openings, lots of cubbies and compartments for at-hand storage for those things you like to keep nearby. Audiophiles will love the Fender stereo system a lot. It's clean and mighty, and when you turn it up, it's like being kicked in the teeth by a velvet subwoofer. Oh, and the automatic transmission? You gotta try it. So even if you're set on getting your Passat with the manual transmission, you should still try this DSG or direct shift gearbox. It's a type of dual clutch transmission that Volkswagen's been using for ages, and it was one of the originals and is still probably one of the best of its kind on the road. It's like an automatic in that it doesn't have a clutch pedal and it shifts gears on its own, but the guts of the transmission are different. There's no torque converter, for instance, and that enables some benefits. Key among them are that it executes gear changes impossibly fast, perfectly rev matched in both directions, and with no interruption in power flow. So when you team it up with the diesel engine, the TDI, you get some benefits to performance and refinement on top of what was already pretty pleasing performance and refinement. Performance in the sense that you're not wasting any time shifting gears because it does it so quickly, and refinement in the sense that it shifts gears so smoothly you'd hardly ever notice a thing. It's really kind of a must-drive technology if you've got the chance. Here's a shot. Just look at how fast this thing shifts gears. So yeah, a must-try transmission indeed. Diesel-powered vehicles these days are also a must-try in general, especially if you haven't driven one in a while or ever. I've been driving lots of the new diesel stuff lately, and these new diesel rides are coming in all shapes and sizes, but a common thread winds through them. They're all great on fuel, powerful, and free of compromise. I also kind of like going to the gas station and seeing this, or seeing half a tank of fuel left with the computer suggesting I can go another 500 clicks. Mileage on my watch, 6.3 liters per 100 clicks. That's on par with a tiny little car, and even better than I achieved in a smaller Jetta TDI a year ago. Take that as you will. So let's sum up the only German diesel luxury sedan out there on this side of affordable for the average Canadian. Passat TDI is great on fuel, has a very refined powertrain, and is handsome and stately without overdoing it. It's making me love the idea of a luxury car that doesn't beg for attention, and the stereo is great, and so is the onboard space, and so is the ride. A few minor gripes: there are better looking infotainment systems in the market. I was really hoping for some xenon headlights for better after-dark performance at this price point, but the tester just ran normal halogen. And my biggest gripe is that the backup camera can take 5 seconds or more to kick in at times, which is a pain if you're in a hurry. End of the day, if you're after a discreet luxury sedan that's well set up to make hours of highway driving disappear with ease while making its fuel supply disappear very slowly, the Passat TDI is worth a look, pricing from $24,000 with TDI power coming in from $26,500.